right, so yeah, we're good. So yeah, man, season 4, we're back and better than ever. So again, we have that updated quality for y'all. We have guests lined up. We have the intro. Y'all already saw it. Y'all, I know y'all peeped it, and we are doing the thing.
Yes, sir. We're here doing the things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So today we're gonna be talking about giving. That encompasses a lot of different things. That encompasses giving monetarily. That encompasses time. It talks about a lot of different things, but we're gonna be talking about monetary for the most part here.
Shmoney.
So yeah. But before we do that, how you feeling, man?
I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I am dead tired. It probably is showing right now though, but I'm trying to get my energy back up. Though I even had coffee too, so it's probably any second. Like literally any second, y'all be like, "Whoa, that man went from 50 to 200." Chill. Like
fair.
No, things has been good. Since technically it's like the first check-in since season 3. Season 4. Since the last time, guys, that you've been watching, listening, I got my master's degree program. I was in school at the time. Getting out of it only because my heart wasn't in it, and I just felt like I was collecting more debt and actually learning to utilize that skills I was getting. So I was like, okay, now let's get out of it and focus on building my career. So yeah, that's been essentially it. Been working full time, looking for a different job, more that's in my field, and that's essentially it. And just getting closer to God. Been praying a lot more, and been really in my word a lot too as well, which is the most important thing.
That's fair. That's fair, man.
Oh yeah. How about you, man? What's making about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So for me, I'm cool, dog. Just getting ready for Gianna, my daughter. She's coming. Real soon, man. But that's the main thing I've been doing. We're good over here. I decided that I'm not gonna be posting pictures of her online, just because I don't know. I think so. For us at ParablePreacher, we preach and teach honesty, transparency. Yes, but I think there's a difference between sharing your story and sharing too much. You know what I'm saying? I think me sharing what's gone in my life and everything that I've overcome and everything I'm going through for the edification and for the sake of the audience and helping them is different. It helps us build that openness with you guys, that you guys can connect with me, I can connect with you. But I feel like sharing everything that's going on personally is too much, just for me personally. You know what I mean? So yeah, I decided not to show any pictures. I stamped it already. I already stamped the time frame. 1 picture in 2 years.
Dang.
But it's a long time, bro. I know. 1 picture in 2 years. I already stamped it. And once you stamp, you can't rip that stamp off, dog.
Yeah, no, that's
the reason I said that. I'm gonna share it with y'all. Like I'm gonna share it with our friends and family, everyone we're close with.
Right.
So they're gonna get it. I'm sorry, y'all ain't gonna get the pictures of my daughter like that. I'm sorry.
Let me not apologize for it. It's a decision that you made because you want to protect yourself and your family.
Exactly.
And most importantly, your daughter and stuff. So there's no shame in that.
And that's the thing, man. It's all about protecting my family, and protecting, you guys already know her name, but everyone that knows her middle name are the people that I'm going to be sharing with. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying the more intimate details. You know what I'm saying? The whole government. Everyone who knows the whole government, they're getting those pictures. And that's just something I thought for myself, you know what I mean? But that's just me personally. Wife is probably gonna be sharing some stuff. Family, stuff like that. So I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna limit everyone, you know what I mean?
Fair.
So
it's definitely fair, man. And I full-heartedly agree with your decision. Like there's nothing wrong with that because like we're in a society now where everyone we got used to sharing every aspect of our life on social media all the time, and it's like some things you ain't gotta be showing on social media no more, like because you got some people who just don't care, and there's sometimes like there's out there some people who just like, oh, you got family now, it's like when I see them do this and that or do something crazy, like you just don't know what society's like looking forward to do. So keep looking ahead.
No, you're definitely right about that, and that's what I'm saying. I think for me personally, without like having that distinct difference, there would be no different. Like the lines would blur too much. Right. You know what I mean? Between my public persona, which, you know, I'm ParablePreacher, everything like that, and home life. Yep. You know what I mean? And it's kind of already going to blur a little bit with us sharing so much. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the more popular we get and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But I feel like you need to have lines. Yep. And I feel like that's one of my lines, personally.
Shoot, I guess with that, though, was like, I just decided not to just be on social media. Like, my account is still there, though, but, like, I just refuse to post anything anymore because I just don't have just the will to even post anything. I'm like, I don't have nothing to post. Like, it's difficult. Like, I had to give a lot of respect to a lot of creators out there because it's like they constantly be posting stuff daily or multiple times a day. Yeah. I'm like, you know how hard it is to constantly have to find something just to get a like or even someone to like comment.
It's tough, man.
I'm just like, dude, like I'm not getting paid for that and stuff. And that's not what I want to get paid for. It was just like, why even bother at that point? You know, after a while, so it was just too much to do. I'm just like, nah.
It's a lot. It's a lot to like keep looking for the next thing to post. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like we have our meetings about what we're gonna share. At least when it comes to the podcast. Mm-hmm. But with the whole TikTok thing, it was like up to us individually. And I already know, like for me personally, man, it was kind of tough to find. Okay, so I already talked about lust. I already talked about forgiveness. What else can I? You know what I mean? Like not saying it's just those two things, but obviously saying like once you go through the line, you're like. Sheesh. Yeah, it's tough. You're definitely right about that.
Yeah. And I think one of the hardest things is like, okay, yeah, you have like your initial topics that most Christian podcasts or Christian creators come up with, wherever we're gonna talk about like the basic stuff, like you were saying, like lying, cheating, lust, and all that stuff. And after a while, it's like you can't really like TikTok doesn't give you enough time to really get in depth on certain topics.
60 seconds.
Yeah, so it's like you're kind of almost cookie cutting like the scriptures in the way, just sort of trying to get something, and then like hopefully it's enough to encourage someone up, but not really talking to their soul, you know. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, and it's kind of diminishing to you because it's just like you got all this you want to say, but then you can only say this much, and it's like you can't convey a strong enough message within that time frame like that a lot of times. So I think that's something too. So it's sorry guys, we're posting. That's it. I mean. Just listen to the podcast and watch it.
I'm definitely going to be posting more just because I think I'm not going to say I'm going to stop posting because TikTok is a very good avenue and it's going to introduce people to ParablePreacher in different ways. And that's the other thing. I commented, someone posted their favorite Christian podcast and we weren't on there yet. But I commented, I said, don't worry, y'all going to see us one day. And then she said she started following, so she may be watching now. But you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
It opens us up to a whole different avenue, and I think it's important. Social media is important, but I think once you use it too much, unless it is for your business, unless it is for to share with friends and family, once you get obsessed with it and you're on it 24/7, that's when you lose yourself. That's when you lose friends and family. Even if you're connecting with them in a certain way, you lose them because you're constantly obsessed with it. You're constantly thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I think there does need to be a long time, like that shut off, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely agree.
But yeah, I think we're ready to go, man.
Yeah, I think we're just the topic. We're going about the social media thing, but at least the fans, they know if they're like, oh, why they're not posting as much as before and stuff like that. They'll say, well, yeah, now you guys know our reasons why. Just different focuses now at this point. So
yeah, no, exactly. Okay, so the topic of giving, you want to start it, man?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and jump into it. So, guys, the topic of giving. I don't know why I said it like that, but so giving, guys. So, as you guys may know, like there's many aspects of giving. There's different ways to give. Particularly for this episode, we're going to be talking about monetary giving. And when it comes to monetary giving, you always, if some of you guys who are listening or watching this have maybe gone to church and you heard sermons of like the preacher like, oh, you guys need to be more giving, you need to be a cheerful giver, which they are correct. The thing with giving, though, you have to be a cheerful giver. You have to be willing in your heart to be like, hey, I'm okay with giving this certain amount. A lot of times, sometimes the person, all they can give is maybe a couple dollars, maybe $20, whatever, maybe $100, and that's all they're happy with giving for right now. But then you got someone always trying to push you more. You're like, well, shoot, it's like I was happy doing that while I was at before, and now you're trying to get them to do more. And I know it's controversial topic, whatever, because it's like, you know, they'd be like, oh, if you're being joyfully giving, you should give more, whatever, though. But sometimes, you know, you got to keep some of the hat, too, because you're trying to make a living for yourself. Because realistically, just because you give all the time doesn't mean you're going to be blessed with more immediately that the next day when you really need it. Especially if you got a bill to pay. Like, it's not going to work like magic. It just ain't going to happen like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you only got like $40 to your name and you ain't getting paid till the next Friday, like, there's no shame in holding on to that $40, you know? Like,
Okay.
I've done it before. But keep in mind, too, giving is also a form of worship. And it's important that people recognize that, too, because why do we do it every Sunday? Why does it come up within the worship service? You know, why do we always do song leading? Why do we always have to do a preacher?
Yeah.
You know, why is there always prayer? It's part of the order of worship. And so giving is not only just to keep the church open, but it's also showing that, like, God, I trust you with this monetary amount of money, and like I'm happy able to give you this. And it helps us be more given in our relationships, because giving is also training to be more sacrificing in a way.
True.
A lot of times when you try to relationship with someone that you love, you're willing to sacrifice some things for them because you want to take care of their well-being. And it's like when we're sacrificing our money to God for the help of the church, He's also going to be blessing us because He loves us. So it's like a hand in hand, you know. It's like, hey, I give, you give to me. I give back, you give to me a little bit, you know. And not saying if you don't give, God's not gonna bless you. Like, you're still gonna be blessed though. But I think with all that too, it's like we need to also learn to manage our money well too. Because when you're not managing well, you can't give, and when you can't give, it's like, well, shoot, like, are you not trusting God with a little bit that you're able to give?
True.
And like, we owe Him so much because He asked for a little of us, and like here, God sent His only begotten Son down the cross to die for us.
Yeah.
And He did not have to do that. He could just like, well, y'all messed up. That's it. Bye. So it's just
no, you're right. I think the thing that, and this is the tough part about it, is that people are constantly thinking about, well, the church gets tax cuts. The church gets all these different things, right? Why am I giving to the church? Why am I giving to a place where I'm supposed to learn about God? That doesn't make any sense to me because I'm just here to learn. You know what I'm saying? It's more than that. It's about you giving back to God. Like you were saying, it shows, it's commanded of us, but it shows so much more than that. It shows where you are in your walk of faith, because like you gave the issue, or not the issue, excuse me, the example of the $40, right? It does teach you, like you were saying, financial responsibility. However, there's that story of the woman who gave the last, however much she gave, right? Her last bit of money. And Jesus said that she showed more faith when she did that than the people who were given hundreds, because they could have given more. It shows your level of faith. And that's not telling you to give your last bit of money because God's going to make sure that you have enough tomorrow. Like you're saying, financial responsibility. However, if you're able to give, not more, how can I phrase this properly? But if you're able to give and you're able to properly budget and you're showing, look, this is maybe giving a little bit more than I had planned on, but I'm going to show God that I know He has me at the end of the day. I'm going to show God that I know no matter how I may be struggling, how many bills I have, that He comes first. So I'm going to make sure that when it comes Sunday, I have money to give. Whether, you decide to give once a month, twice a month, every week, whatever it is, that's between you and God. However, once you show that and you've committed to that, and once you start skimming, like, dang, dog, I did go to McDonald's the other day, so I can't give as much as I could, as much as I planned. Once you start doing that, it shows that, look, to keep it honest with you, it shows that McDonald's is more important. Dang, I did buy that video game, bro. So it shows that video game is more important. But that's how it is. I think I've gone through that before, you know what I'm saying? It shows that whatever that finance was is more important. There's that scripture, Matthew, I'm going to say 20, maybe, it might be Matthew 16, actually. I could be dead wrong, though. But there's that scripture where Jesus is talking about why you worrying, because the birds and the bees, the grass, all the flowers, everything is taken care of. But you're worried. You're tripping about what you're going to wear. You're tripping about food tomorrow. Why would God not provide food for you? Yes, we do have, unfortunately, there are people who are homeless, right? But somehow, some way, they still are able to be there. And that's through a lot of people giving charitably, right? The point being is, once you start skimming God financially, then you're skimming yourself financially. And this is not, we're not preaching, what's that, the profit or whatever, the profitable sermons or whatever. You know how people be like, if you give $1,000, Jesus is going to bless you. He will heal you, brother. Like, we ain't, hallelujah. We ain't saying nothing like that. We're not even talking about them like in that negative way. But you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Because that's not the way he works. He doesn't work. Blake gave $100 when he only had $50 his name. Somehow, some way, he was able to give more than he was planning on. I'm about to bless this man with a new job tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not the way it works all the time, right? I'm just saying where you are right now is shown by your giving. And a lot of people may be like, why do I even have to give in the first place? It's so the church can keep its lights on, so the ministries that we have, we're able to do them, so people can go on those missionary journeys. I'm talking about spiritually. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to do that. But yeah, like for real though, like, you know what I mean? Like it shows where you are at. So I got a question for you. How long did it take you to start giving responsibly, like showing your faith?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, it took me way longer than it should have.
Okay.
And I only say this because growing up in the church, my mom and dad did not put a lot of emphasis on certain things that is commanded of us or that we should be doing. And one of those was giving for the most part. Like when I had allowance, like dad would give that allowance money on Friday, it would be gone by Saturday afternoon. Like it was just never thought like, oh, maybe I should put some aside and give some to God. Like that was just never a topic that came up. It was never discussed. So when I got older and got my own job, I'm like, yeah, I'll give once in a while though, but I'm not gonna, like I ain't gotta do it every Sunday or whatever. Like, I wasn't tripping about it. It wasn't until our minister pulled me aside one day, like, hey, you haven't been giving enough. He didn't say not giving enough though, but he said you haven't been giving consistently as of late. And he was breaking it down to me why it's important to give. And like I said earlier, when we started the podcast episode here, was that it was a form of worship too, but also showing that you're trusting God as well. That you're like, hey, I'm able to give this amount. Could be whatever number. Doesn't have to be like, oh, I have to. Because some people say like, oh, I give like 30% of my check. Like it doesn't have to be like I do like now like I have a percentage I give and that's it. But like it doesn't have to be that way. It's just like, hey, whatever you feel in your heart to give and you're happy with it, that's how much it should be. But just make sure it's a consistent amount. Yeah. And that was like the main thing. And so after that talk, like it was funny because initially that day I was like, this man really just got me about some money, man. Like I don't even make that much. I'm barely even working though compared to these full-time people who are got like pensions, retired or something. They got way more money than I do.
This was me at Safeway or Subway, I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Subway was my first job, guys. So I was only getting paid like 10 something hours. So I wasn't even getting paid that much, So it was just like, I think I was working maybe like 3 days a week too. I was like, I barely got enough money to buy the game that I want to play, So that was just like a thing. But over time, when I started making a little bit more money, I just made the point like, hey, give a little something. So I think I started off at like $20 or like $10 weekly for a while. Then it started being eventually I was doing $10 a week, which wasn't too bad. I was able to afford that. Then when I got a better job, and I think that's when I started going to Nike, and I was working at Subway, then I started doing $20 a month. Or not a month, but every week. Every week I was doing $20. And then like I lost one of the jobs, I wasn't making as much money, and then Nike started cutting down hours, so I was making way less than I was at Subway, so I couldn't give consistently. So for a while, I couldn't give at all, because I literally would, like, my checks would go from $600 every 2 weeks to now, like, I'm making barely $200. So I was like, that's my car payment right there, or more. Like, I ain't got nothing to give at all. So, and then I got the state job, and now I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do $100 a month now, and that's where I'm at right now. And when I get my next job, I'll hopefully get up to like 200 or 300, and just keep that consistent, because like I'm happy with giving more, I just needed more money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say about an age I really started taking it seriously was probably when I was about 25.
Okay.
Probably. That's when I felt I was like at a better place. And like I was more financially responsible too with my money, because before, like I was telling you, like I would spend my money. Like okay, Friday it'll be gone by Saturday afternoon.
Fair.
Now I make my money stretch, and like I try to keep a conscious thought, like okay, either have a set of my money that goes out every month, or have a percentage that I'm like, okay, like if I get paid like $1,000, like let me take 10% of that 1,000 and like make sure it goes to God.
True.
And I never see it leave my account because I have it automatically done, so I'm just like, hey, I'm happy, I know it's going there, like so I know I'm doing my part.
Fair.
How about you?
I would say like when I really started taking it seriously was when, how old was I? It was like a couple years ago, like 3 years ago maybe. I just remember, I think we talked about this. You mentioned it actually. If you're in a relationship, like it teaches you how to, be responsible financially. So I would say once me and my now wife, then girlfriend got together. I think I started thinking about it more. And we had the same conversation, our minister and I think it was like the same day. He probably pulled us like 30 minutes apart. Hey Blake. hey. Just one sec, Blake. Jordan, come here. Sorry, Blake. And then,
after you left, you don't see the upset. I was like, what's up, man? I was like, man, nothing, man. I was like, okay. Man talked to me, and I'm like,
come on, dog.
I was like, I understand now, brother.
I'm heck of weak, but that's really how it was, like, and that's not even saying like we're against like being talked to, right? But it's that admonishment. That might not even be a word. I don't even know, Blake. But
admonishment's a word.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if you should say like admonishing, but it's that makes it. Like it makes you the man that you're supposed to be, or the woman that you're supposed to be. It makes you, most importantly, the person you're supposed to be, the Christian you're supposed to be, right? Because they've been through stuff. Like especially your minister, he's talking to you like that for a reason, right? But getting back to my point, so he had already talked to me about this, right? And I started giving a little bit more here and there, but truthfully, I wasn't responsible enough with my money. Like you were saying, it'd be gone. We'd be going out to BJ's a lot, dog.
Man, those were good times.
Getting them Pazookies and everything.
It was like what was it?
We were going at least twice a month, maybe 3 times.
Yeah, dude.
Max every week.
Yeah, for sure. Every week we were at least going once, maybe twice sometimes.
Yeah, we were going crazy, but that's when they had the red velvet. They had a red velvet Pazookie. If y'all didn't experience it, they don't have it anymore, and I'm sorry, but it was heat.
You can still make it though. Go to your local grocery store. If they sell red velvet cookies, probably in the holidays. Get a whole pack of them. Get 2. Put in a little small pan. Throw in the oven for at 300 for 3 minutes at its most, and then throw a scoop of ice cream. Perfection.
Flames, dog. It's heat, bro. It's heat. But yeah, so we were going there a lot, right? We were going there, the movies, every week. We were going to the BJ's, we were going to the movies. What else were we doing? We were just hanging out a lot.
That was pretty much it for the most part. Because the movies, guaranteed there was always something that was interesting to watch every week. Then we realized when there was no good movies coming out on Fridays, we would hit the Tuesday movies and start seeing random movies. Which was half as cheap as going to see the movies on Friday.
But we were doing that consistently. Yeah. So I wasn't responsible with my money. But once I got in a relationship, it hit me that I need to be more responsible with my money, and I'm trying to be the man she needs me to be. For our relationship, which means I need to be a better Christian, which means I need to be a better Christian man and manage my money properly. Because how are we supposed to get married? How are we supposed to have our apartment? How are we a house? Child, all these things if I'm just blowing my money, right? You know what I mean? So that's when it really hit me. And I wouldn't say it hit me the most until we moved out, until we got married. Because I was giving consistently. Actually, no, I would say the pandemic, before that.
Oh, fair. You were saying?
So I would say that it was the pandemic that really did it, bro. The pandemic to me really showed. Because again, there were no distractions. There was no movies every time or as much as we were going. There was no going out to eat as much. So that put everything in perspective. Dang, okay, let me give this, that. And I saw how much I was actually giving to those, what would you call them?
distractions,
yeah, the entertainments, the I was gonna say casualties, but that's not what I was trying to say. Like the I can't even think of the freaking phrase, dude. But it just showed me how much I was giving luxuries. Okay. Those luxuries in life, you know, being able to go out to eat, being able to go to the movies. So I was doing that more, and I was looking into it more. So once I saw that, I had to go. I had to go and stop spending as much, and go give more. So once I started giving more, then it just put everything in perspective for me. And once we moved out, man, we put everything even more in perspective. We're gonna be giving this much per week, this, that, because again, God blessed us with an apartment. We want to move into a house, you know, with, you know, give our daughters, you know, more room and everything. But still, we're here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a blessing. And once you look at your blessings, and once you look at, dang, I don't even know how I'm here. I don't know how I'm alive doing this when I should have been doing that. Because the doctors will put stuff on your life saying you only have this much, or if you've experienced stuff like that, right? And I think most of us have experienced things where the doctors will put stuff on your life, or where people say you can't do this, or yada yada. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or you lose a job. Once you realize, dang, I went through so much, and God's just asking me to give cheerfully, or to give a certain amount, you're like, dang, why am I not giving? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just looked at it like, dang, I have to give more, because, you know, I was able to move out. We were able to get like furniture, all these different things that are necessary for our apartment, and like God was able to provide me with that, with a second job, a first job, like so many different things. You know what I mean? When people were struggling, so why am I not giving more? You know what I mean? It just really put things in perspective, and the cheerful part is gonna take time. Yeah. I think once you just, like I was saying, put your blessings in perspective, like, dang, I shouldn't be here. Dang, my family shouldn't be here. Whatever right now, but because of God, I'm able to do these things. So that will make you cheerful, because you're like, dang, dog, I am blessed. Yep. So that's when the cheerful part will come into play. So I think once I moved out, for me, that's when it really hit. And you know, it's never too late. So some of y'all might be thinking, dang, you already had a podcast, dog. Y'all were on season 2.5. Why did it hit you so late? Everyone comes at their own time. Pause. So once you just allow yourself time to breathe, and you realize that, dang, I'm not keeping up with the Joneses. I don't have to. Blake gave up at the age of 25. I would have been 23. That's when he really hit his peak in giving. He said, I was 27 at the time. Dang, you know, I should be doing better. Nah, I mean, I come at my own time. You know what I mean? Blake comes at his own time. Better phrasing, but we all move at our own pace, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So once you allow yourself that freedom and that liberty to know that God's not putting you in a box, He wants you to get out of that. No matter what man is saying, you hit a whole new level of thinking. You know what I mean? So.
This is true. Now, I definitely have to say that. Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with that too, because everyone's on their own journey for the most part. Yeah. And there's no timeline of when you're gonna learn something. I think the most important thing is knowing, like, just learning overall. Because like you were saying, like, I was 25 when I hit my peak again, and I've been consistent ever since. Yours is 27, and there's no shame in doing it later. Like, a lot of people, like, and I feel like a lot of people always put this timetable, like, oh, at this age you should do this and that and stuff. But it's like, sometimes you're not going to get that, though, because it's like, it takes someone to make you notice it, or it takes you to wake up and hear someone trying to tell you that, and actually accept that, you know, that teaching, and actually follow through with it. Like, you have to want it for yourself, you know?
True.
Like, that's like if someone was like, oh, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. Like, you ain't going to get that by just taking a vitamin. Like, you're going to have to put in that sweat equity of going to the gym on a daily basis, almost, work out, go to bed at a decent time, eat decently, and make it happen. And I think when we were talking about, like, with the aspect of giving too, it's that same principle too, because just because you give once doesn't mean you're always going to be consistent. Consistent, it's like, hey, I've been giving every Sunday for a whole year. Like, that could be a goal. Or like, oh, I gave once a month consistently the same amount, regardless, you know. And I'm really thankful, despite with the pandemic, I was still able to give my same amount of money through the pandemic, despite maybe not working as many hours here and there or whatever. Like, I always had that, made sure I had a certain amount in the bank we got transferred into the account to help out the church, and God has truly blessed me with it. Just to make sure, like, you know, I've still been working, because there's a lot of people I know who have lost their jobs when the pandemic hit and are still trying to recover to get either a new job, or they're working some odd job just to have something coming in, because, you know, not everyone's getting their stimulus checks or whatever. And not even trying to get too political though, but that's just the reality that we're living in right now. Sure. People are feeling that, you know. But at the end of the day, like, I know I'm trusting God through it all, knowing that, like, hey, despite what I may be going through, God still gonna have my back. I could be broke, no money, but like, I know I still have friends that care about me. I still have a family. I still have a home that I could rest at. I ain't got to worry about not being able to pay rent and then I'd be on the street the next day, you know?
True.
Or living like, hey, you're one check away from being broke. Like, I could go with a couple checks and still be living okay, but like, that's because I've been learning the aspect of like managing my money well. But I've also been praying a lot more too, and just making sure like I'm making priorities. Like recently, when this episode comes out, whether you guys are listening and watching, I had a birthday recently, and you know, most of the time when you get older, you need to get some money or some clothes, whatever. I got me some money this year, and normally I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy this from Amazon or go over here and buy this. This year, I didn't do that. I went to my car in the shop and did like an overhaul on my car. Like, you told me 2 years ago I said I was gonna do that. Like, I would have told you, you're a lie. I was like, nah, that's what I'm tripping. Like, I want to get myself that PS5. I'm like, dude, I'm not even paying my PS4. Why do you get PS5? I'm not even paying PS4. Yeah. Like, you know.
True.
So it's just like you were saying, putting things in perspective more, and like really think like, okay, no, like, let's use your money more wisely for things. And, you know, still give to the Lord. I'm still giving Him glory and honor for allowing me to see another year of life, you know? Like, I'm 29 years old, guys. I'm 1 year from 30. I'm old. No, I was kidding, I'm not that old. But still, it's just like, I'm thankful, you know? And part of that giving is going to make me be better, because now, you know, one of these days when I'm deep into a relationship, you know, I'll be able to give a little bit more easier, because your relationship is not just about you; it's about the other person you're with.
Both of y'all.
Yeah, and so it's like now I have to sacrifice the things I like to give for myself. Now I gotta make sure, like, oh, do I have enough to make sure that both of us are like taken care of?
True.
Or make sure the other person's taken care of before I think about myself. You know, so I definitely understand that, like, the perspective of it.
And you said something. You said get into that routine. I was listening to this other podcast, and they said something this guy lives by is commitment over routine. Because once you have that commitment, you're going to do it no matter what. Because you know how many times, I'm sure you felt it, like going to the gym, for instance. You want to do it, and you're in that routine, but if you're tired, you're tired, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can break the routine, but you can't break commitment. You know what I'm saying? Like commitment over routine makes you work harder, because you can break your routine when you're exhausted from the gym or life. You're like, okay. So yeah, you mentioned routine, right? I think the most important part, something I was listening to earlier, I heard this like literally today, is commitment over routine. Because you'll break that routine, man. Like, you go to the gym every day at 12 o'clock. Yep. Let's say noon, right? But you're tired one day from life, just you're really hit with it, right? But that commitment to your goal of whatever, you know, your physical goal is going to bring you to that next step. Right. Your commitment to God is going to make sure that you give the way you're supposed to, no matter what. Dang, I really ain't got enough money right now, but my commitment to God is going to push me past the routine of giving weekly, giving monthly, whatever your routine of giving is. You know what I mean? That commitment to God, that faith in Him is really going to push you over the edge to make sure that you never miss it. Because your wallet's gonna be hurting that time. So yeah, you were saying that you put money into your car. It wasn't an emergency, right? But there will be emergencies with your car at points in times, or emergencies that, you know, that you have to break into your savings or whatever.
Exactly.
However, that commitment, again, that commitment to God is going to push you to, even no matter how hurt your wallet is right now or right then, you're going to give. You're going to make sure you put money in that basket, in the collection, despite your wallet being hurt, bro. You know what I'm saying? All you see is butterflies. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
Or was it moths coming out?
Yeah, moths, a couple pins, and like a button.
For real. That's gonna push you to give no matter what. You know what I'm saying? It's the commitment and the faith you have in God that's really going to make or break your giving habits. And it's gonna take time. Again, I already said the cheerful part is gonna come from you just, recollecting over your blessings, right? Or remembering your blessings. It's gonna come from life experiences, but make sure you're working on it, and God's able to tell when you are and when you're not. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about giving. Just making sure that you're doing your best, and you don't have to break the bank to show God you care. You just have to give respectfully, responsibly, and cheerfully to Him to show your faith in Him, that during your darkest days, God's going to provide for you. During your hardest times, He's already gotten you out of it. He's gonna get you out of it next time. Keep going and keep allowing your giving to truly be that point of worship. So that's those are my final thoughts. So what you got, Doc?
No, I was kidding. So I would say with that too, just to piggyback on what you're saying, how we were saying to be a cheerful giver and everything. Definitely, God knows your heart, each individual. He knows each person's heart. If you find it in your heart to give a certain amount, you find your heart to do certain things, let that, don't let no one stop you from doing that. Don't let anyone diminish you of that, or try to make you do more than what your heart is willing to let you do, because God's not going to force you to overextend yourself. He's going to try to stretch you and make you, do a little bit more here and there, but it's not going to be a force where someone a lot of times, what I was saying earlier, you're the preacher saying, we need to give more though. And yeah, maybe you should though, but it's if your heart is happy with it, God knows your heart, stick with that. There's no shame in that. And I think it's kind of getting off the top a little bit of giving though, but I just felt like I should say it though, but I feel like a lot of times in the church, we gotten a way of doing something that's from the heart, and more feel like it's a duty. And granted, it's a commandment to do a lot of things though, but some people don't have the heart to fit in certain aspects or certain roles, and they should put themselves in a ministry somewhere in the church to help out in their hearts. And I feel, with giving, some people will probably not be good with giving in money, but are able to give time, as more time into the church, more time into other ministries. But it's a commandment that we give back as we prosper, so we should definitely make it a point for each and every one of us to have something to give, and something that we can give consistently. Yeah. So that's all I had to say, and I just felt like that had to be shared. But yeah.
So.
Oh, Sparks, all right, good.
Yeah.
I saw your eye, the twinkle. I was like, there it is.
So again, we're pretty much done with the giving part, but you said something there that kind of hit me. What do you think we should do when our heart is not in it? Like you were saying, we're commanded a lot of different things. What should we do when we're commanded to do something, but we're not feeling it? It's not in our heart, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Or when your minister tells you, "Hey, Blake, you need to be doing this more." Yeah, but that's not me. That's not my gift, or whatever it is, right? How do you think we should handle that as Christians who are commanded a lot of different things?
See, that's a tough one too, because we find ourselves in that situation very periodically. I don't see that there's no shame in saying no sometimes. Okay. Granted, if they need help or whatever, so that to have you do certain things, if it's a once in a while thing, I guess. But if they're trying to have you do something consistently, and your heart's not in it, it definitely should be said. Be hey, I'm gonna help this time though, but my heart is not in this ministry of doing this portion of stuff. Don't look for me to be doing this all the time, or something. I don't know. I feel like there should be some respect levels of saying that though, because it's that's almost like saying, for example, you're a force of song lead, and in your heart you don't want to do that. You might be preaching or something like that, or like teaching some classes or something like that, though, not song leading, though. So it's like they go call upon you to do song leading all the time just because, for I don't know, whatever reason, you have the right to be like, hey, like, I will help out this time, though, but like, this is something I don't want to do, I have no interest in doing. I'd rather be doing this and this.
Okay.
And I want to be developed in that area, you know, or something, I feel. So I feel that's like the best way to approach it, because it's like, because I feel like every Christian needs to be part of some ministry in their local church somewhere.
Oh, definitely.
You can't just be sitting in the pews and not being part of something. Like, because being a Christian is an action. You know, like we took the action of being baptized, of following Christ. We took the action to come to church every Sunday or worship every Sunday. Yeah. Now it's time for you to take the action of being a part of ministry, because you need to be a worker within the church. Because the church is constantly moving and shaping, and we got to move and shape with the church, because we all have an impact in the church. No matter how small the ministry, we all have an impact, and we gotta make sure that impact that we're all doing is a positive impact overall. So
faith through deeds. Yeah.
Like James.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. Fair. I just want to ask you that real quick, because you know that does happen. Yeah. To where a new Christian or even a veteran Christian will feel obligated to do something because the minister or whatever it is, because there's so many different minister, deacon, elder. I was trying to think of different positions. We'll ask them to. So I think that's something that's going to come up in a lot of people's lives, to where they're asked to do something in which, you know, they know that this is not me, kind of thing. Or it feels not hard, because you know life is gonna be hard, but it feels wrong in the sense like this is not my alley, you know what I mean, this is not my lane, kind of thing. So I just thought, you know, give them a few different pointers for that.
Actually, that's what you missed. That made me think of one last thing with it. I just got that twinkle in my eye. But I would say, if you are finding yourself doing something you haven't done before or you feel uncomfortable with, don't immediately go for no. Try it at least once. Yeah. Because that might be an opportunity where God might be trying to stretch you and put you in place to be developed in that ministry, but you just have to be accepting and open to it, and not just always be immediately like, oh, you made me preach? Oh no, I ain't doing that. Because, and the best thing to do that, like deal with certain things with trying to deal with that immediate no. The person's like actually do it. Ask them to guide you and train you, because sometimes I feel a lot of times like people, when they actually do stuff, they just like, oh, can you do that? Okay, great. And like they don't like check on you through the week or train with you, put that time to develop you to be successful. And they kind of just like think like, oh, you come to church this Sunday, you know these songs, just do these songs. It's like, okay, but being the pew singing a song and leading the song is completely different aspects. It feels different. And if someone we've ever done before, like you're setting up for failure if you're not training, developing, and giving them some pointers. Like just a small little thing could go a long way to help them out. Yeah. You know, so I definitely say, like, even when you the first time preaching, like I know you've been wanting to preach, I didn't have no preach like idea or even want to do it, but I got trained and developed, and so it became a lot more easier when I started doing it. Now it's not immediate no when someone asks me to do it, though, because I'm like, oh no, I can actually do this. It's not something I'm going to do consistently, though, but it's something I can do. You know,
and that's the difference. You said it right then. It's not something you want to do consistently, but it's something you're open to doing. It's something you're willing to do for the edification. Been saying that word a lot, but that's a minister. You know what I'm saying? That influence. But it's for the for other people. It's to encourage them, to help them, literally to guide them. You know, as a preacher, as a minister, right?
Exactly.
But you said it right there. There's a difference between not wanting to do it consistently and not doing it at all. You know what I'm saying? And being open. And if you were not open to it when you were first asked, whenever that was, however old you were or whatever, if you were just like, no, I'm good kind of thing, you would never know that that's something you could do. Yeah. So there's a difference, and you have to be open. I think that's the main thing, is being open to trying new things, in a godly way, like in something that's good for you, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling y'all to be open to peer pressure, nothing like that. Do it. But now, like, you have to be open to God and what He may want for you, because we have no earthly idea. It's not like in biblical times where there would be literal signs or you know,
speaking to us immediately.
Yeah, burning bushes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like that. It's through our spirit, the Holy Spirit working through us. Prayer, you know, all these different things, reading the Bible, kind of thing. you get those signs from God. And if you are not open, and again, then that's when your minister may talk to you, or brother or sister may talk to you, say, hey, I need help with this, or I need you to try this for me, because yada yada, we need this, we're missing this within the congregation.
Yep.
And if you're just like nah kind of thing, you'll never know. And I think even more so that try it a few times. In my opinion, 3 to 4 times is enough to tell. And as long as you're open to it, you'll be able to truthfully know whether it's a yes or it's a no. But if the whole time you're kind of reluctant and you're not giving it your all and you're not open to it, then you can never truly know if that's for you or not, because you went into it with a negative state of mind. You went into it in a way you can never truly receive the fruit of your labor. You know what I'm saying? So I think if we're open to things, then you'll be able to tell. And you'll be able to tell where that person's coming from. Like, if it's supposed to, if they're really just giving you an assignment or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Through the way they interact with you. Some people are a little bit more harsh though. Some people are very coddling. You need you know what I mean? You need to be open to all different ways, all different kinds of people when they approach you. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of important to talk about real quick. Give these guys, some nuggets.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it helps us out too, though, especially just doing stuff because we're not know-it-alls or whatever. And I would say we're seasoned Christians to some degree, but we're still learning.
Exactly.
And that's part of the Christian journey. You're constantly growing and learning until the day you die.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna be I got baptized at 15. Oh, I'm 65. Oh, I retired. I'm done. I know everything there is to know. You can't teach me nothing else. No, you're constantly gonna be learning something new. But you have to want to learn something new. You have to keep pushing to learn more. You can't. Otherwise, you can cut yourself off at some point, think you know everything, but you go start your growth. Yes. And we don't want that. We gotta keep constantly learning, grow in His name, as we say.
Yeah. True. We gotta grow in His name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode. Any last final, little nuggets? It could have to do with anything. Something that's been on your mind, something you want to tell them.
I would definitely say, let me get the VFX here. So, let this know and be heard by everyone. God loves you at all times, through your roughest times and your best times. And you just have to be willing and accepting that God's willing to forgive you, that you're willing to forgive yourself, and don't shut yourself off from growth. Continue to be challenged and accept the challenge and move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you're right. That was. I don't need it right now. But no, that was good. That was true. You just sometimes feel so dark and everything during those times that you just don't feel God. You know what I mean? And we had a question on this, but just knowing He's there for you through it all is amazing, man.
Oh yeah. Life is different.
Yeah, life is different. So once you know He's there for you, it makes everything easier. Yeah. The giving, getting past lust, forgiveness, all of that. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Because it just puts it in perspective. I just had to do it. So I think one thing I want everyone to remember is just, I think putting emphasis on that commitment over routine. Because once you are committed to anything in your life, man, it just makes everything. It puts it in perspective. Like those parents who don't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning because they're tired. You know how many days your mom really take off, bro? Parenting you.
No. I legit think about it. I was like, is she?
I was like, she was sick that time, but no, she still took care of me. Right. You know what I mean? My mom didn't take any days off either. I'm not gonna take any days off. My dad never took days off. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a parent, it's not that you don't have headaches. It's not that you don't get sick and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's the commitment to your child, commitment to making them a better parent. You know what I'm saying? So that commitment is gonna push you past any of your difficulties, bro.
Exactly.
And that commitment, again, we're talking about God. We're talking about anything at this point in time. Commitment over routine, bro. And I just learned that today, dog. Like, it just opened up my mind, bro. I was like, that's true. Because there were days in which we didn't want to go to the gym. And we were in the routine of it. We might have went later on that day, but we still went because we wanted to get, we wanted to get our bodies right. We wanted to lose weight, whatever it was, right?
We're trying to become Captain America.
We really were. I'm not going to front, yeah. I was trying to be the Black Captain America before Falcon was.
True.
Spoilers. I was trying to hold the shit before he was, bro.
I feel it.
Oh, man. We really did look up all the superhero routines, what they were doing, what they were eating.
Their sleeping patterns, like everything you could think of that you could find. We're like, all right, we're going to follow that. And we did for a cool minute too.
Yeah, we did.
Results.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we were going in,
like, dude,
bro.
Legit bulked up enough to almost be called that.
Yes, exactly.
Almost.
Bro, yes. That was... Dog, I miss the gym, bro. I miss the gym so much, dog.
Come through my house, man. You can come
it's
through,
not the same. I'm still down. I'm still down.
There, bro.
I'm still down. Especially when you're working out with somebody else, it just hits different.
Oh yeah, it does.
But to me, man, there ain't nothing like seeing other people. You don't even know them, but you just see other people working out, and you're just like, all right, let's do this, y'all. Yep. You know what I mean? To me, it's like watching Creed when this dude's working out, bro.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like that's how it feels when you're in the gym. You see everyone actively working out. That's why I can't go to certain gyms where it just seems like it's a club. You know what I mean? Where you just see a whole bunch of people twiddling their thumbs on their phone kind of thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I can't go to those kind of gyms. But once you find a gym where you see people actively working, it's different, man.
Yeah.
It's different. But yeah, overall, like I was saying, that commitment pushed us past the pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A commitment to this podcast kind of thing. Second recording, bro. Second recording, bro.
Yeah, so for some of you guys who are watching this right now, this will be actually the second time we recorded this same exact episode, because the first one, the quality wasn't bad, but the audio was horrible.
Tragic.
Like, we couldn't even produce that, so we had to redo this whole episode. So the whole vibe and energy is different though, which is still, like, the episode's still good though, but it's just like, man, we had to redo the whole episode again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we never had to do that before, ever, in any production that we had thus far. So it was like, it was a hit to the spirit that had to happen, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you learned a lot, because I know we did. I feel the conversation for us this time around with the same topic was a lot more better, actually. Like, I feel like,
this time around?
Yeah, and I feel like, especially at the ending part of it, I feel like I had a lot more takeaway from it. So if it hit me, hopefully it hit you guys as well. Hopefully it did. It should have. It better.
Yeah. And that's why I said, like, I'm not opposed to redoing it, because again, with the Word of God, each time you look at one scripture, you're gonna learn something. But you look back at that same scripture, even a week after, you're gonna learn something different, possibly because you've encountered different life lessons. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wasn't opposed to doing it. Mm-hmm. I was heated though.
Oh yeah.
John Walker, man, bro.
I'm gonna ask too, like, John Walker, man.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong camera. John Walker, man. Show it.
Him like. Oh man. Okay, guys, that's it. That's it for the episode. We're just shooting there out now. But anyways, thank you guys for coming out and listening to this episode, or watching, however you're consuming our content. Please like us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Oh yeah, hit me up with that. Hello? All right, here we go. So let's do that again. So like us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and also come to ParablePreacher.com, to our website, where you get to see the new, freshest content as it comes to you live. So thank you guys. That was all the socials, right? Do we have any other ones?
I'm not my friend wasn't paying attention. I was messing with this stuff.
That's okay, guys. So, yeah. YouTube. I forgot about YouTube. But we also have some YouTube videos out from Season 3. If you guys want to watch some of Season 3, our editor's been killing it on those. Shout out to Brother Diddley. He's really been doing his thing. We appreciate him. Love that man.
Yeah, he doing his thing. Yeah. That's what I thought you were going to do earlier.
Oh,
I was trying to mess with it when you were talking. But yeah, he's doing his thing, man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I am your co-host, Blake.
All right, y'all. It's Jordan. Thank you again for watching, listening, doing all the things. Go ahead, hit all them buttons, and we out. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Peace.